Hello, everyone. I'm Abhigna Rajiv, and I'm a social media marketing consultant and a freelancer who specifically designs social media campaigns for the travel and hospitality industry. Today, I'm starting a series of interview with entrepreneurs, marketing heads, and CEOs, and also social media experts. This is mainly to gain insights on how social media plays an important role in today's business scenario. Today, I have with me Mr. Nikhilesh Mallikarjun, who's an entrepreneur, a businessman, and also a social media expert and a very dear friend. From being a part of his family business to starting his own venture, Chai Stop, to managing his NGO, the Kalisu Foundation, and also managing the social media campaigns of all his businesses, he's done it all. A very warm welcome to you, Nikhilesh, and thank you so much for giving your time to give insights on social media marketing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Abhignya, for that wonderful introduction. It's always pleasure talking to you. I'm looking forward to share whatever little knowledge I know and to learn from you as well. Thank you.
Oh, definitely. I'm sure we'll get a lot of insights from you. Well, let's get started then. So, first of all, you have been into various businesses. So, how important do you think social media is for businesses, especially in today's digital environment?
I have a very different take on this. I would say yes, social media is very important for businesses, but for few businesses, it's not important at all. Either
Okay.
when you're there on social media, you should be doing it completely, and if you're not there, it's okay, but it shouldn't be like half-hearted attempt to be on social media, that I'll just have an account, or
Mm,
I'll just have multiple accounts on multiple platforms, and then I'll just post one post in a month or 2 months. It doesn't work out, because some of the businesses don't require social media, like my family business, which is into manufacturing of machine crushed aggregates and M-sand, where we are very locally, we are manufacturing and selling it very much locally, do not require social media at all. Yes, we may get into social media provided our production, all those capacity will, if we are able to get it to at least 3 to 4 districts, but as of now, no, we are just been in Mysore only. So for a business like that, it's not important at all. But for other businesses, and particularly the NGO which I manage, Kalisu, I've
mm.
seen the difference today. If Kalisu is being popular, if we're doing some impact, if we're getting amazing support from volunteers, inquiries, it's only because of social media. So so it depends on what kind of business are they doing, whether
Mhm.
it's important, not important.
True. So, to rephrase whatever you said or paraphrase what you said, so if you mean that if you are into social media, understand whether your business really requires it and then get into it rather than just being there and not doing any activity. So, is that what you're telling?
Absolutely right.
Okay, so that brings me to my second question, which I think has partly you have already answered. I was about to ask you, like, since you also own an NGO called Kalisu, how do you think the role of social media is different when compared to the role it plays in a business scenario?
Yeah, see, I mean, very good question. So, what happens when you're doing a business and when you're putting a post is, you're expecting business out of it.
Mm, true,
But in a non-profit, you're using a platform to communicate what work you're doing.
true,
Yes,
yeah.
at the end, we may also get some good volunteers. We may get organizations which wants to fund us and things like that. But at the end of the day, in terms of funding, it doesn't happen through social media, because again,
Mm,
a own set of rules, protocols, procedures needs to be followed with every organization. But whatever communication, what we are doing today, what we
mm,
stand for, yesterday what we do, or tomorrow what the impact going to be, I think it's an amazing tool to use it. But only challenge probably all NGO spaces, we will not have big budgets to have a social
mm,
media manager. So it's everything is done in a very very limited resources. At the
mm,
same time, what also happens, will not have DSLR, will not have we do not know how to shoot angles and things like that. Eventually, yes, we'll learn, but but still, most of the NGOs face the challenge of not having a professional social media person handling their
True.
channels.
But I also feel like when you are running an NGO, it's more about showing people what is the realistic scenario rather than, kind of fabricating it. Do you really feel like that fabrication will be required in today's world? Like the
No,
glam
no,
and glitz.
definitely not. No, definitely not. Say, I mean, but still, at least the photo. Say, for example, whenever we do, since we are in library, whenever we do inaugurations, it's
Mhm.
always, inaugurations happens through cutting of tape. So when
Mm.
the tape is being cut, and if the picture is being clicked in from inside the library, there's always sunlight in the background.
True.
Sometimes, the sunlight is so much, it looks like the chief guest is being enlightened.
Okay.
So a professional guy would
Yeah.
probably put, some
Yeah.
background. That's all, nothing else. It's not rocket science. Just to make the picture look like, nice. That's all. There's no
True.
fabrication happening here or editing happening here, but just
Yeah.
to make sure, it's looking right. That's all.
Yeah, so that's I do completely understand that. Well, I do know that you have been managing all your social media campaigns for all your businesses. However, if you had to hire a social media freelancer or an agency, what are the key traits that you would be looking at in that agency or in that freelancer?
I would say first is connection with the brand they're handling. They should connect. Why we decided, or at least at this point of time, none of our brands what we manage, companies what we manage, it's not outsourced, because not every social media agency nor every social media brand, I mean, like, companies will not be able to connect to us, connect to the brand. So
Mm,
that connection is will always be missing, because it's not yours. It's like, you could be running a school. You could be having, you could be nurturing about 100 children, but they're exceptional teachers, no doubt. I was blessed to have such teachers, but at the same time, not every teacher will not be caring, as their mothers, or will not be caring the way they care for the children. So similarly, social media is, the connection will be missing. Second is that passion
mm,
towards, developing the other brand. Then, commitment and dedication. So these,
mm.
I mean, if they have these qualities, I wouldn't mind uh, outsourcing social media work, but I haven't found any.
Okay. So I think that's a very good insight I found. The reason is because I have always learned that in many books I have read or anything that knowledge that I have gained about social media, I definitely understand that today's social media agencies or freelancers, they're just into, the kind of, they just want to get business from somewhere and they want to just get done with it and get their money and just go on in life. So I feel like it's a very good insight that I want to give to all my audience, that whether it's a student who wants to get into social media or even the agencies or startups, that they should find a niche inside social media. Like, as I have chosen my niche as travel and hospitality industry, so I do social media focused on travel and hospitality, and the reason is because I am very passionate about traveling. And so whenever I travel, I have found certain loopholes or certain things which I would want to share my expertise and insights on that, which can give a very good like the kind of return to a travel agent. So that I feel that would probably solve the problem of the companies have with social media marketers today. So that's my insight that I have got. So do you
Uh,
feel? Yeah.
Absolutely, what you said is, yes, it's perfect. I mean, because today, as you rightly told, everybody wants to make money, which is good actually. Today, money is very important, but staying focused in the long run will fetch more money than what they're getting it today. So, having niche area or having, demarcation that handle these kind of things would always be better for any company actually.
Yeah, true. So Well, I would like to know whether you still believe in the importance of traditional media, or do you think that traditional media is just obsolete now with the emergence of digital marketing? Has it completely changed the scenario, or what is the line that one should draw between these two, traditional and digital?
It all depends on how much money each company has. Number one. Then second thing is they should also have a clear uh, they should also have a clear demarcation between how much are they spending on traditional media versus social media, because definitely brand, I mean, nothing can what to say, I'm from Mysore, so here, evening daily is Star of Mysore, so it's always, they've been undisputed kings from ages for evening daily newspaper. So nothing can take away,
Beat it.
reading the paper and sipping a cup of coffee or tea or whatever.
True.
So it's very, very important to have traditional media also in the game. So I would say, I mean, it again depends on business to business. Say, for example, for an NGO like us, I think we cannot afford, in our lifetime, we'll not be able to afford traditional media. Also, we do not want to spend on it. Social media, of course, unless and until we have a professional manager, it requires money, but otherwise, as of now, we are handling it.
Yeah.
So, it's okay. So it depends on business to business.
Yeah. So as you rightly said, I think it also depends on who is your target audience. So if it is for a mass market, then maybe traditional media is an ideal scenario. But as you rightly pointed out, if it is an NGO, there's no point in just marketing it to everybody in Mysore or every person on traditional media. Well, so what is your perspective about integrated marketing efforts? So should businesses look at having an integrated marketing approach, or should they focus on some channels only?
No, definitely they should have integrated marketing approach. If they're looking at a very strong brand presence all over, I think, they should have everything covered. They should have their digital, digitally they should be present again. But before that, it depends on business to business. But once they say yes, it's required, they should have everything going. Like, I mean, there are many brands. Like it could be automobile, it could be, the beverage brand. It's very important to, to be there
Mhm.
in all the medias, so that it will help them grow. So and also very important, like especially startups, are they looking at brand building or are they looking at sales? So a lot of things,
Yeah, the consumer
help
funnel.
help the brand make this difference. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so that brings me to my next question on how should one use paid ads in relevance to the consumer funnel? So, do you think that businesses should invest on paid ads? Is it a good practice to generate leads using paid ads? What's your take on it?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. It's important, because otherwise, companies like Facebook and Twitter also needs to survive. So,
Okay,
on
what
a lighter
about the
note,
companies who invest?
but yeah, on a lighter, but yeah, yes, it has to, because Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or whatever other bloopers and things like that. What eventually what they'll do is, they'll keep changing their algorithms, so which makes our ad visibility only a challenging thing. So
True,
initially, 5 years back, if you put an ad, automatically people used to see, but today it's not happening.
true.
They have very strict guidelines and rules and regulations, which is good in a way. They eliminate unwanted things, but at the
Mm,
same time, for some brands, it's definitely expensive to afford. Like for a non-profit like ours, it's definitely beyond our reach. But businesses wise, yes, it's very important to have lead generation.
true,
But what becomes more important is, after lead generation, how will they follow up?
true,
So usually I've seen brand failing there. After leads also, they'll not be able to materialize it.
true.
So that becomes very important.
Yeah, so that's the nurturing of the leads that we tell in the digital landscape or digital language. So once we get the leads from any social media, we kind of convert them into our own lead magnet channels, and we nurture them to become our customers. So that's basically what you
Right.
highlighted. Yeah. So what is the kind of transformation? So this is my last question to you for today's evening. So what is the kind of transformation in social media channels are you expecting or looking forward to rather, so that it can enhance or change the digital landscape in the near future?
Now, today, again, see, today everything is revolving around data. So, so at times when you read reports, you feel scared that, all your data is being monitored. But, up to a point, you feel scared. After that, you also, the fact, and I also realize, and the fact is, you know, today, if Facebook wants to know who I am, where I am, and what am I doing, for them, it'll take not even seconds.
True.
So similarly, every digital company we have been trapped, we have tracked everything, because most of our things are digitally, happening. So there's no point in sitting and cribbing about data. We've been losing data, and we are simple common man sitting here. So for me, it's okay. If my data is so being tracked also. But I mean, in terms of transformation, if they start supporting smaller brands and on a social responsibility side for uh, what to say social media companies, it'll be nice if they be if the platforms be able to support smaller businesses and take them along, because there's no way that a small company can match a big company's social media budget.
Budgets, yeah.
It's impossible. So,
True.
but at the same time, they all say it's a level playing field and things like that. But there is a lot of unlevel field out there. So the only thing is companies like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, other social media platforms should just support smaller businesses. That's all.
Yeah, so you mean to say like the data collection, the data driven artificial intelligence, and these things are coming up and these things are growing and we will have to expect these things to grow more. However, you also feel that these social media channels should support the smaller businesses more. I mean, mainly because the smaller businesses don't have that kind of a budget as big brands have.
Correct.
So, okay.
Correct.
So, well, this brings us to the end of this very first session on insights on social media marketing. And I personally found your insights to be really useful. And I will definitely keep these points in my mind while I'm designing any strategy for my clients. Well, Nikhilesh, thank you so much for being with us and sharing this platform with us to share your insights on social media marketing. So, finally, I would like to ask you any parting thoughts or last advice for our viewers today.
Nothing much, just connecting to what you asked last question, any changes you want to see, because, whatever changes I want to see, definitely social media platform will not do those changes. So instead of always cribbing about what the social media channel is, doing, instead it's always best to adapt and, go accordingly. And definitely make our life much easier. Otherwise, by the time we crib and get adapted to it, there'll be new algorithms coming in. So it's always good to adjust faster, and and move at speed. That's all.
True. Thank you so much once again for being with us. Well, that was our first episode on social media marketing insights with Mr. Nikhilesh Mallikarjun. We will see you in the next episode with yet another entrepreneur. Thank you and take care.
Thank you.